guys, and Happy New Year to you. Alex here, finally, in 2021. We made it. I made it. Made it through the operation. So last time I saw you, or you saw me, was December the 18th when I uploaded that video. And I was just about to go under the knife, guys, to have the operation on my arm, which I can safely say is a success. Look at this, guys. Look at this. This is awesome. Look at that. I feel like Marty out of Back to the Future, you know, when he gets his hand back. It's like, what? What is this? But yeah, I'm really pleased with it. I mean, it feels great. It's still a little bit sore some mornings when I wake up. And I'm still on painkillers, which I'm trying to get off. I shouldn't actually be on them now. But it's been difficult to get off those. So you have to watch that, guys. Codeine is not a good place to go. Well, it is if you're in pain, but you need to try and wean yourself off them, which I've been trying to do. But at the moment, I'm not too worried. The doctor said don't be too worried right now, because I still am. I still do get a bit of pain with it. So all in good time. All in good time. But yes, look at the scar. Look at the scar. You see that? It's pretty big, but I'm pleased with it. I mean, that's 3 weeks after the operation. It's still got stitches in there. Yeah, but they properly opened me up compared to what it was like after the op. Have a look at this. I know, if it's squeamish, sorry. But yeah, I'm chuffed with it. At my age, scars don't really bother me. I'm not bothered. I've got scars here. I've got scars everywhere. I'm not bothered about that. I'm just happy to have my arm back. It just feels great. I mean, when this was broken, if I lifted it any further than this height, it would just drop down like this at that point. It was the weirdest, strangest feeling. And it used to freak people out. And I know it freaked you guys out, even just talking about it. But actually to see it happen is really, really odd. So to have my arm back, although the bone is not fused, I've still got to wait 2.5 months, 3 months for the bone to fuse. Because what they've done is just put a big titanium plate in here and screwed it into the bone, pulled the bones together, and they should heal now a lot quicker because there is no gap. I had a gap about that much between the two bones. Now the bones are tightly knitted together. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, within 2.5 months, I shall be lifting that monitor out of that Video Master and rotating it so we can test some of these games. So yeah, I'm chuffed. The whole experience in hospital was okay. I spent 2 nights in hospital in Oxford, John Radcliffe Hospital, and it was okay. I came round in my own room, which was nice, although that didn't last for long because someone got COVID in the ward, so they had to take me out of my room and put the guy that had COVID into my room and isolate him. So it was going around even in my hospital. I witnessed it. It was, you know, people rushing around, and you know, when you're there and you see it, what's going on, it's, you know, it's real, guys. It's real. And the nurses there, they're working 24/7, and they put so much time and effort into helping us and making us feel better. Hats off to those people, you know. But the only bad thing, I guess, about being in hospital was the food. The food was god awful. I felt like I'd been eating out of a trash can for 2 days. So I was happy when my partner brought in some food for me. Crisps and chocolate. No, yeah, it was nice. It was nice. So, and it was really nice just to get home, guys. Just get home and rest there. I think that's the best place, really. The trouble is my oxygen levels were quite low. My potassium levels were really low. Not that that's that important, but they were trying to get them up. But the oxygen levels obviously was quite important. So I had to stay in for 2 nights, get them back up again. And they let me out. I think really, you know, they could just start seeing the surge of COVID coming back. And they were quite quick to move me out of there. And I was happy to get out of there. There's nothing worse than being in hospital, is there, guys? You just want to be home in your own comfort. Other than that, what can I say? It was a success. It was a success. I'm just happy to be here. You know, finally, after 8 months, I've got my arm fixed. You know, I'm not going to go up in that loft for a while, though. But I am playing some games. I'm playing some Defender. And we're going to play a couple of games in this video. I'm not sure what this video is about really, but it's basically Happy New Year. I'm back, I'm okay. And I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone that sent me well wishes on Facebook and on my channel in that last video. Thank you so much to all my subscribers, friends and family, my son. Josh, if you're watching this, don't worry. You can see that I've got a red paint on my face. It's actually makeup. Don't worry, I haven't turned the other cheek, okay? It's my partner was just mucking about with her daughter, putting makeup on. This is what you do in lockdown. You get so bored. Let's just put some makeup on Alex and see what he looks like as a girl. I'm game for a laugh. So I'm a little bit rosy. I'll try to rub it off, but I haven't done a great job. Got the COVID hair. I need a haircut. This is the longest my hair's been since I was about 20 years old. I've grown it again down here. But anyway, I'm going to get a drink and we're going to sit down and let's just chat about 2020 really, because what a year that has been. Seeing games come and go. And we're going to have a look at some of those games that came into the arcade and went out of the arcade. Well, here we are, guys. Here's to 2021. Got a nice bit of rum and coke and my favourite Marmite flavoured crisps. Down in the games room like it was in the 80s. Packet of crisps and a coke. But anyway, my son, if you're watching, Josh, hang on in there, mate. Hang on in there. I know it's hard on you youngsters and cooped up inside. I think as you get older, it's a bit easier because I like my, well, especially for me, I like my home comforts. Especially when you got this, right? I actually enjoy being at home. But I know when I was 20, I always wanted to be out. You know, I was travelling. I lived in Sweden for 6 years. Travelling around, busking around, hitchhiking. I loved it. So, Josh, I know how hard it is for your son, but hang on in there. We're going to do some more videos as well. We'll do some more hangout videos with my son. But to everyone, you know, anyone that's struggling through this, whether you're in a relationship you don't want to be in, which must be really difficult, and I've been there as well. I know what that's like. People that have money problems, which I'm sure I think everyone has right now. I mean, I struggled to keep a hold of a lot of this, to be honest with you, but I was wheeling and dealing. I was lucky I had some stuff that I wasn't that bothered about selling. We'll get into that in a bit, but you know, some people don't have that at all, so this is extremely difficult. So to all of you guys out there, just hang on in there, because it's just 2 months, man. Hopefully we'll be out of this 2 to 3 months once all this vaccine's done and dusted. We'll be back to normal. Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. But you know, 2020 actually started off pretty cool for me, because we moved into this property in May, and I was really excited about moving into this new arcade, biggest space I've ever had. You know, I was thinking of sticking 19, 20 cabs in here, but then over the 8 months that I've been in lockdown with this broken arm, I've come to a conclusion of where I'm going with the arcade and what I want in here. So some of the cabs that I had in my collection I sold in 2020. I sold Gorf, which was a surprise to a lot of people. I didn't have that very long. Again, a lot of these games that I sell, it's not because I dislike them. It is really just down to space or it's money for another game. So that went to a good home. My good friend Fraser, who hopefully we'll do a game room tour of pretty soon this year. Yeah, I don't regret selling Gorf at all. The reason why I got Gorf actually was because of its size, and I thought when I move in here, what am I going to have room for and what's going to work? So I bought a couple of cabarets, which was the Stargate and the Gorf, thinking that if I didn't have room for an upright, I'd have room for a cabaret. So that was the kind of thinking behind my decisions in buying that. Although I do like Gorf. You know, it's a fantastic game in my opinion. I know, Rich, you don't like it, but I do. It's an iconic game for me, and a game I used to love playing back in the day. But you can't have them all, guys. You can't have all the games that you love and all the games you remember playing back in the day. You just can't, unless you're mega rich, you've got a huge basement, you know. But us here in the UK, we don't have that. You've got to be really lucky. You've got to have your own arcade to house them in. I feel lucky having this space here, just to have 12 cabs in here. I feel extremely lucky. But not all of them are going to make the grade. So some of them went, Gorf went, Donkey Kong Jr. went. People were really surprised when I sold that. In fact, I really surprised myself when I sold that. And actually, out of all the games, that's probably one I do regret selling, along with Donkey Kong. I don't know why I sold that, but, you know, I can get it back again. It's not a hard game to find, is it, Donkey Kong? They made 60,000 units, or was it 80? You know, quite a common cabinet to find, but prices are going up, obviously. But yes, I will be getting a Donkey Kong back in the collection. And that will take the place of Astro Blaster, because Astro Blaster has been sold in 2020. That is now going to Arcade Club, guys. Another game which you're all probably thinking, what? He's selling Astro Blaster? I thought you loved that game. Yes, I love it. I love the game. I do. I love it. I love it with its depth, with all the secret bonuses. I think it's a fantastic game with all the synthesized speech. It's brilliant. But I've got to a point in it where I just can't get any better. I'll play it and play it and play it, and I can't get above, I can't beat my score 41,000, and it really frustrates me. And I want games, I want to mix it up. I want a bit of variation in the arcade. I feel like I've got too many shooters. So, I've sold it. It's going to Arcade Club. So if you're ever at the Arcade Club and you see Astro Blaster, that's my old cabinet. And give it a go, guys, because it is a fantastic game. But yeah, we'll be sad to see that go. It will be sad to see that go. But, you know, you can't have everything, like I say. And what took its place was Zookeeper. Zookeeper, I mean, what a game. That game has got so much potential. It's such a fantastic looking cabinet. Beautiful artwork. Although it is running the FPGA board, hopefully this year I'll be able to get an original board set, which I will run, which will make my day if I get that in there, because that makes the game complete in my mind. I do like the FPGA boards, but I prefer them just as backup if I can, and prefer running the original board sets, especially with that attract screen with the constant sound effects going. Does annoy me. With the original board set, you can do away with that and just have this track screen without sound effects. But yeah, that took or is taking Astro Blaster's place. And I love it. I love Zookeeper. A rare cabinet. Don't come across them very often at all here in the UK or in the United States. So I'm really chuffed to have that in the collection. Millipede went. Millipede went. I was probably more in love with the artwork than the actual game. Not that I don't think the game's good. It is a good game, Millipede, but it doesn't make my top 10, if you like, or top 12. Games in here. So it went, and Space Invaders took its place, and I had to get Space Invaders back. I know it's another shooter, but Space Invaders, it's just got so many memories for me. I mean, first game I ever played is what is responsible for this channel. It's responsible for all of this collection. That game just got me into video games, and I love the cabinet. It's a beautiful cabinet. I love the artwork, and with the Braze kit, gives you some more options with some different games to play in it. And it's a fantastic cabinet. I want to keep that in the collection now. I'll never get rid of it. And Moon Alien. Well, I was never going to hold on to that. It was another shooter like Gorf, Galaxian clone. Sold it to a good friend of mine, Tony. Yeah, that went. Again, all I can say about that is I just wanted some diversity in the arcade. I want platformers, I want drivers, I want quirky games like Sky Skipper, just to mix it up, you know. I think it's good. If you have all shooters, it can just get a little bit boring. And then obviously I've got the Sega Hang-On, which Martin has loaned to me, which I absolutely love, although it's not working at the moment. I'm gutted about that. He was going to fix it, but obviously we went into lockdown. That's not going to happen now. But yeah, I do love Hang-On, but the more I look at Super Hang-On, the cabinet and the game, I might be more sort of leaning more towards that down the line. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, Super Hang-On, I don't know, it's just got a little bit more to it for me. But yeah, I love him Hang-On right now. I'm having a driver in the arcade for the first time. Never had a driver before, ever. So it's really cool to have a driver. I really like the arcade, the way it's actually come along this year, considering I've not been working and I've just been kind of wheeling and dealing, buying and selling, and I've got the games I kind of want, and the games, there's only probably 2 more I want in here, and I think I'll be happy. Alex, you always say that. Yeah, maybe I do. Maybe I'll swap one round, have one that I'll swap round, but no, I feel like I'm happy. I want to close this sort of section off here, you can't see, but behind the camera where the arcades start, make this a lovely console area. Have a couple of Vectrexes here, 4 or 5 monitors for my computers, my consoles, have all that set up here. Get back into my Nintendo collecting, which I haven't done for such a long time. I've really just been scratching on that side of things. I want to get back into Nintendo collecting, Famicom, Super Nintendo, and do more videos on that, which I kind of neglected for a while, to be honest with you. And I do miss. It's just been difficult, really, with money and everything, really, because God, the games have gone up so much. Jeez. And of course, Brexit now, I mean, it's a lot harder to import. The VAT's gone up 20%. Well, maybe it's a good thing. Maybe this global warming and everything, maybe we shouldn't be buying all this stuff from all around the world. Shipping containers coming in left, right and centre. I don't know. Who knows what's right, what's wrong these days. It's old stuff anyway, that I collect mainly. You know, it's not being made now. It was made 30, 40 years ago. It's hardly, the damage was done then. It's not being done now. It's out there. So, I don't know. I think the retro collecting's pretty cool. There's only 2 more games I want. Defender Upright, Donkey Kong, and maybe an Asteroids Deluxe. I've got the 2 Jammer Cabs. Going to keep them. Delve into the PCBs, not collect them, but maybe buy one, do a video on it, play it to death, sell it on, that kind of thing, because they're not cheap and they break down a lot. But I do like the idea of having 2 Jammer Cabs in here, vertical, horizontal, and doing those console, arcade to console videos, which I really enjoyed doing last year. So that's it, guys. That's where we're at. I mean, you know, it's been a lot of changes in this arcade. Oh, Wizard of War. Wizard of War will go as well. Believe it or not. Wizard of War I'm going to sell. Because I think 10 cabinets in here is enough. And I'm happy with that, to be honest with you guys. I really am. I was going to do 12, but I think 10 is going to be my max. We'll see. Because I really do want this to be the console area. And I don't want it kind of seeping in, the arcade seeping into here. And I'm happy with what I've got. Anyway, enough rambling. Done too much rambling. What we're going to do, finish this video. It's only a short video anyway, guys. Just wanted to let you know I'm back. We're going to finish off with some gameplay of a game that most of you know me for the work that we did on Sky Skipper. And the reason why I want to go back into this game is the kits that have been in development for 2 years now from Rich, this old game, have finally been finished and shipped to my good friend Whitney Roberts. And the 12 people that came forward after the reveal in Atlanta with original board sets, Sky Skipper board sets, will get a Sky Skipper kit. And that includes side art, bezel, marquee, control panel, the whole shebang. And if you want a conversion kit as well, that's in the kit, the package. as well, and they've all been done. They've all been finished, shipped, all 12 of them to Witney, and we can finally put a lid or a bow on it, as they say, and get them shipped out to all those collectors that have been waiting for 2 years. 2 years for this art package, which is great. I mean, it's a great start for us for 2021 to get all them done and get them out. So what we're going to do, we're going to finish with a bit of gameplay of Sky Skipper, and then in my next video, I've got some cool plans. We're going to go back to the arcade to console. I've got a really cool video I want to do on the BBC Micro and the Vectrex and the Famicom. I've got some really cool games that I've picked up for the Famicom. So this is just an introduction into 2021. Happy New Year, guys. Let's finish up with a classic arcade game. It's not really a classic. Sky Skipper. So here we go, guys. Here is my Sky Skipper. I haven't turned it on for quite a while, to be honest with you, so it's going to be quite interesting to see how good I am going to be at this game today. And I can't believe it's, what, 3 years now since the reveal in Atlanta in the arcade club. And a lot's happened, really. A lot's happened since then. Obviously, it got released onto the Nintendo Switch, which was amazing to see. And lots more people have come forward with original board sets, 12, funny enough, all in all. I'm sure there's more out there, but they will all get their kits as promised. We can't make any more than 12 kits because that's what Nintendo said we could make. We could only make as many kits as there was boards being found, and to be honest with you, it's such hard work, especially for Witney. He's really been behind most of this for him to do. That 12 is enough, and we didn't want to mass produce them anyway. So 12 is the number, and 12 kits will be delivered to people that have original board sets. But yeah, it's a funny game. It's not the best game in the world. It's a bit quirky. It's an average game, I would say, but it's more about the history behind the game and how it came about, not just from my point of view, but other stories that unfolded as our story unfolded and went along. For example, how it was dumped into MAME was always a mystery. And I was almost told to keep a little bit quiet about it. There was loads of rumours going around that the ROMs were dumped into MAME illegally behind Nintendo's back. Because you know what Nintendo are like with their property. But actual fact, that wasn't true at all. What happened was there was a company around in the 90s, I think it's still around now, a German company called Factor 5. They designed games like Turrican, Super Turrican, and the Star Wars games. And their offices were right next to Nintendo in Washington in the mid-90s while they were developing Rogue Squadron for the N64. And I think Julian, who was the CEO of Factor 5, was good friends with Don James. And he found out about Sky Skipper, knew it existed, and he wanted to have it at one of his parties. And Don James said, well, you can have it at one of your parties, but you've got to get the game out that we've asked you to do for the N64, which was Rogue Squadron. You've got to get it out on time. And he said, okay, we'll get the game out on time if we can borrow Sky Skipper. And they did. They borrowed Sky Skipper. It turned out it wasn't working. So they had to send the board back to Japan because it wasn't dumped in MAME. You couldn't just burn the ROMs then. You had to send it back to Japan, and they reburnt the ROMs, sent it back, and he had a working Sky Skipper for his party. And in that time, that is when it was dumped into MAME, because they thought, we can't keep doing this every time it breaks down, keep sending it back to Nintendo in Japan. So they dumped the ROMs into MAME around about the mid-90s, I think. So that's quite a funny story that came out, you know, in the last 3 years or so, which I found quite interesting. I think Retro Gamer wrote about it, which was really cool. The other stories I like is the Billy Mitchell one. Obviously, Billy Mitchell, when he won, when he got his world record at Donkey Kong, he was invited into Nintendo of America, and he remembers seeing it in the lobby there, and that's how our connection with Billy Mitchell came about, because when my good friend Whitney Roberts mentioned that we had 2 Sky Skipper PCBs to Billy Mitchell. He couldn't believe it. He said, I haven't heard that name in a long time. Last time I heard that was in 1983 when I won the world record at Donkey Kong, and I saw it in the lobby and I played it. And, you know, we said, oh, do you think you could get us in contact with Nintendo? You know, and he did. So we've got a lot to thank Billy Mitchell for, getting us into Nintendo America and getting us our contact with Don James, who's head of Nintendo America. And, you know, the rest is history, really. And of course, my story, which, you know, I never forget, finding the PCB. So, first of all, when I was looking for Sky Skipper, years ago now, 7 or 8 years ago, I was trying to get, if you go back and look at all my old videos, I was trying to get every single Nintendo arcade machine. Obviously, I was never going to have the room. So I went out for the obscurities. And the Europe and UK seem to get the obscurities like Space Fever and Space Firebird and all those kind of weird games. Because Nintendo of America wasn't even established then. So Nintendo were distributing games via Sega to Europe. So we had a lot of Nintendo games in Sega cabinets, which is a bit weird. And I'd heard about this game Sky Skipper, and I just researched it and managed to find a guy in Sweden that had what he reckoned was a Sky Skipper PCB. It had TNX01 written on it, and he was trying to convert it back to Sky Skipper because it was Nintendo back then, when this wasn't a success. Instead of scrapping all the PCBs, they converted them to Popeye, okay? And so with his board in mind, I asked my good friend Mark Whiting, who repairs a lot of my games, whether he could reverse engineer the board. And he said, no, not without the schematics. But if you had an extra board, maybe you could do it, because you can sort of bounce off each board and try and fault find off each board. So I put that to rest. I didn't buy the board in Sweden, and then we went up to a raid in the north of England, like all the UK vackers like to do. Find somewhere, an old amusements arcade that's closing down, and buy them out. We don't wear balaclavas and stuff like that. We just go up there with a load of cash and buy the guy out. And this guy turned out to be really old, been there since the late 70s, really old school English seaside amusements arcade, and went up into his little offices upstairs, and he had, you know, like a long shelf going along this back room, and there was just racks and racks of PCBs, and we were putting games down like Discitron and, you know, Gallagher, you know, all the classics, all the rarities, they were all up there. And I remember saying to my friend Ollie, aka Alpha One, on the way up, what would be the chances if I found a Nintendo board and it was Sky Skipper? No, seriously, I actually said that on my son's life. I said that. I couldn't believe it. So he gets up on a stepladder, not me, and he starts passing me down the boards, and I'm putting them in the boxes, and I'm looking at each one, and he passes me down this board. It says Popeye on it. Now, he hates Popeye, so he calls it Poopeye. So he passes me down. Here, Alex, here's Poopeye. You can have that. So I look at it. It's brand new in its packaging. Just doesn't look like it's ever been used. Here's a picture. Doesn't look like it's ever been used. And straight away I look at the code, and it's TNX01, the same code that's on that guy's board in Sweden. I knew straight away it was Sky Skipper. My jaw dropped. I had heart palpitations, and I just quietly put it into the box. Got outside after everyone was done doing their deals, and I said to Ollie, look, it's a bloody Sky Skipper. Can you believe it? And he was like, what? And I remember he swore at me. C-U-N-T, he said. U-C-N-T. Oh, I was like, I just couldn't believe it. I just could not believe it. That I'd got a Sky Skipper out of this old amusements arcade in the north of England. And, you know, the rest is history, really. Mark Whiting, I brought the Swedish board, and Mark Whiting reverse engineered both those Popeye boards back to Sky Skipper. And there we go. I did that video all those years ago. So it's got a lot of history, the game Sky Skipper. It's not probably the best game, but the stories behind it are well worth a listen or a read. You can go to our website, skyskipperproject.com, to read all about it. You can also follow John's Arcade, did a fantastic video of our reveal in Atlanta. I'll put links in the video below. Also my video, or there's loads of guys that have done videos of the UK reveal at Arcade Club. This book here documents it brilliantly. Beyond Donkey Kong by Ken Hurwitz. Brilliant book and very accurate description of what happens. Well worth buying that. And that's it really. You know, I don't go on about Sky Skipper too much, but when I do, I get all enthusiastic about it, passionate about it. It brings back so many memories, so many good times. It really was a good time for me. I've never been to America before, so this game took me to America. I made so many friends. My best friend, Whitney Roberts, through this game. And I've got a lot to thank this game for. So whatever you think of it, I know it's not the best game. For me, it's got a lot of history. So without further ado, guys, I'm going to flip the camera around, see how far I get. I haven't played for ages, so I'm not sure how I'm going to get on. But I'm going to try and loop it at least. Let's see how we get on. Right, so here we go then, guys. It's an 8-way stick. I've got 2 buttons, fire and speed. Basically, fire is bomb, limited amount of bombs. Speed you can use to speed up through the levels, although you have got a fuel gauge at the top that depletes when you use that. Basically, I've just got to pick up all the cards, and if I get a flush, I get a bonus. That's basically it, really. Yeah, and it's just a case of learning the maps, really. 4 levels, 4 maps, and they scroll left to right. So quite an early game, really, that scrolls. It's been a while, but I will try to get level 4 and loop it if I can. It's been a while. It's been a long time since I played this. You can see at the bottom there, I've got hearts and diamonds left, and they're all showing me they're on the left hand side of the screen. And now they've gone back down, so every time you bomb a Kong, they jump back up again. Speed through. Make sure I don't get hit. You've got to be careful. When you bomb the Kongs, they kind of sit on top of the cards and make it quite hard for you to pick them up. There he is, he's popped up now. Grab him. Let's bomb him. And there we've done level 1. And when you bomb them, they're on their back. You can actually pass through them. Damn it, I'll escape. So I've got a bit of a bonus there with a fuel save, 700 points. Level 2. If I can remember, I can't remember how to do these levels now. It's been such a long time. So you can pass through the Kong when he's on his back, which makes life a lot easier. Oh, need to get that one there before he drops back down again. Bombing. That's all of them there. I've got a heart to get, one more heart to get. Where is he? There he is. Right, now it's all on the left hand side. Now he's blocking that one from coming up, so I've just got to hang around, wait for him to jump up there. There he goes, and then bomb him. It's a little bit high. Oh, he's gonna. Oh, I see. I've bombed him now, and he's sitting on top of one of those. Going to create loads of problems for me now. So I've got to wait around while my fuel gauge depletes, which is really annoying. There he is. Can I get him? Yes, I've got him off the level. Off level 2. Alright, level 3. Got plenty of lives. So I should be able to loot this, guys. It's really nice playing this game again. I haven't played this for such a long time. And I should really get into trying to get some really better scores on this game. Come up again, yeah. Get that one, so I've got all those in there. There's a jack up the top there. Get the, there we go. Don't hit the clouds. Now I think on this level I'm going to have to refuel at some point. The monitors doesn't look great. It's kind of zooming in and out, which is a bit weird. Ah. Right, so it saves my progress from the last game. Ah, he done it again. Come on. Only 3 more to get. Yes, he's done it. Love all the little characters. They're so well drawn for the time. Right, last level, level 4. Tricky one, this. Very tricky. Come on. Oh, I just got through there. I've got to pass through him now into this little tight little space down here. Oh, don't hit the clouds. They speed up, definitely speed up. There's one up there I've missed. Let's get him. I might have to refuel in a minute. Let's just get a few more. No! One plane left. Got to do this, guys. Got to do it. Still got too many to get. Right. Right. That's them on that side. How do I get in there? Ah, he didn't do it. Oh, there's level 4. Oh, game over. That's it, guys. I didn't loop it, unfortunately. Bit rusty. Well, that wasn't a very good score, was it, guys? And I'm sure you could do a lot better than me. I've neglected Sky Skipper for quite a long time. In fact, I don't think really I've played it properly since I've moved in here. But that is all about to change. I'm going to make a conservative effort to try and get 100,000 on Sky Skipper by the end of this month. Yes, and you can hold me to that. I'm going to come down here and play it every single night and try and beat that score. I think I need to put Defender on the back burner for a while and concentrate a little bit more on Sky Skipper because he's been neglected. And let's see if you can beat that as well. So if you've got a Nintendo Switch, let's see if you can get the highest score on Sky Skipper, okay? And you can post your scores on my Facebook page if you want. It's Ninty Arcade. I'll put a link in the video below. You can post a picture of your score on there if you like. But my goal is to get 100,000. Let's see if you can beat me, okay? Little challenge for you by the end of the month, okay? Well, that's it for this week, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's great to be back. And I look forward to uploading more videos in 2021. This year, hopefully, it's going to be our year, okay? Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one, guys. Take care.